Hey guys! Sorry I haven't uploaded a video for about a month now. There has been a lot of work going on in the house, so I haven't really had the peace and quiet to do it. But yeah, I've just let go of my second job, so I have a lot more time on my hands, which I'm really excited about. So I'll start uploading videos weekly. I've had a lot of questions about my bump, so I'll show you my bump and just talk about my symptoms and just the changes that I've noticed. I've also had another really intriguing question, which I haven't really thought about myself, which made me think a lot, is how have me and my partner dealt with this news together? So I'll speak about that later as well. And I'm also going to talk about the past week, especially as well, because I've had a couple of trips to the hospital and it was quite a scary experience for me. Tell you what happened and what the outcome was. Yeah, so a lot of you wanted to see my bump. 4 weeks ago, I did not have one at all. See, my belly buttons come out, which I actually really like. So this is my bump now. It's the first time I've gained weight and I've actually been happy about it. It is really starting to get me excited. I can't do my zipper because it doesn't fit. So, to be honest, I've been quite lucky with symptoms. I haven't had many symptoms. I haven't really been feeling sick. I've just been really, really tired. I haven't been feeling sick or I haven't been going sick at all. I think I felt sick a bit at the start of my pregnancy, but I think that was just more my nerves and anxiety that everyone around me didn't know I was pregnant and I knew I was pregnant and I was petrified. But yeah, I think that was all in my mind. I don't think it was like a physical symptom really. Another thing that's happened to me is I've had really swollen nostrils. Like my nose is clear, but they're just so swollen. So when I sleep, I'm just a nightmare, and I probably snore now as well. I haven't really had any stretch marks apart from on my breasts. I know it's a bit personal, but yeah, I've been getting lots of stretch marks on my breasts above and below, which I really don't mind at all. It doesn't bother me one bit. I think there's worse things in life to worry about than some physical changes. It doesn't really bother me. Gaining weight doesn't bother me. And I know it will all settle after I give birth as well. Worse things in life than a couple of stretch marks. And it's not like I'm really unhealthy and I'm eating crap food 24/7 and I'm gaining weight. My body is making a baby and carrying a baby. So yeah, I'm actually really excited. When I see my stretch marks, I was really excited because I know my body's adjusting for my baby. My belly button is stretched out, which I think is really cute. I actually really like that. I've got like an outie. I used to have an innie. My skin in general has just gone drier. My legs, my arms. What I've been using at the moment is this Vaseline Intensive Care. I used it before I was pregnant anyway, and it was just a godsend. I love this. It makes me feel like I have baby skin, and it helps my skin glow, and it feels really nice. I look like I haven't seen the sun in like 100 years, but I'm trying to take a break from the fake tan. So, before I tell you about the hospital, I do actually have a bicornuate uterus, which means that my uterus is in the shape of a heart. So, between being a child and going into adulthood, my uterus didn't develop and stretch out like that, like a normal uterus. So, the baby was in the left side of my uterus. So, there was a possibility of miscarriage or not carrying full term. I went to the women's ward. They did a urine test, a blood test. They examined my cervix. Um, they checked for the baby's heartbeat, which was absolutely fine. A nice, healthy heartbeat. Yeah, they found I had a water infection, so they sent me home with antibiotics, which I was happy about. But I woke up on the Saturday then in my boyfriend's house as usual, and we got up to make breakfast. And all of a sudden I was just absolutely restless. I was pacing back and forth the kitchen. I was starting to get pain, but I was trying to deal with it quickly because I thought if it gets worse, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital again, because when it started it was quite bad. Um, yeah, so I was pacing around the kitchen. I had my zip undone, just rubbing my stomach, and this was an entirely different pain now. Um, I tried to sit down. Boyfriend was trying to tell me to sit down and calm down, and as soon as I sat down, I got straight back up. I couldn't. I couldn't stay still, and it was just getting to a point where I couldn't. I was really struggling to walk because the pain was shooting down to my knees and my thighs. So my boyfriend's sister was like putting my shoes on for me because I couldn't bend down. I was in that much pain, and we got in the car straight away and we started going to the hospital. Like I couldn't even talk anymore. I just remember thinking in my head, I need to get to the hospital quicker. I felt like I needed to take my clothes off. I know that's the weirdest thing, but I felt like I needed to take my trousers off and just be in my skin, and I just didn't know how to deal with it. It was just the weirdest feeling. And then yeah, so my boyfriend was like really supportive. He was driving as quick as he could, and yeah, we got there. He went to park the car. I was in A&E, and I don't know. Like looking back now, I don't know whether because I'm a first time mum and it's the first time I'm experiencing these pains. I don't know if it's the panic that's intensifying the pain. But honestly, I was saying in my head, like, try and pull yourself together because you're about to go into A&E and you need to be able to speak to the doctors. And I was genuinely in the car, like silently trying to, in my head, trying to calm myself down. But as soon as I'd, stop and, try and contain myself, like the pain was just, it was agonizing. It was shooting down to my knees. It was all around my uterus. It was coming around my sides. It was down the bottom of my back. Yeah, so I went into the treatment room then, and I was lying on my side. I could barely talk. I was just letting them do what they had to do, and my boyfriend was just holding my hand, and I could see in his eyes he was scared as well. It seemed like it was my last day of pregnancy, and in my head I was thinking, oh my god, I have a bicornuate uterus. Honestly, I just thought the worst because the pain was so bad, and yeah, I had an IV in my arm because my blood pressure was so low. I think because of the position I was in, I was just lying on my side, which is obviously the comfiest for if you're pregnant. The pain was starting to go then after an hour. But yeah, I was there all day then. They monitored me there all day. I did have the option to stay there, so I decided to go home, and I thought if the pain comes back, it's only a 10-minute drive back to the hospital anyway. But the conclusion with the Saturday visit was that because I'm such a petite girl, um, I can literally feel the baby like stretching my uterus and pushing, and I just thought to myself, yeah, okay, like maybe, but I just thought surely it can't be that bad. Honestly, it was just the worst pain I've ever experienced. But I am really, really fortunate that the baby's okay and I'm okay. After the hospital, then on Sunday, I was getting like really strong kicks then, so I was really pleased. I'm also finding out the gender this Friday, which I'm so excited about. My boyfriend keeps saying that he doesn't mind what gender it is, but I do know for a fact he wants a boy. I could just tell by his face. He really wants a boy. I honestly don't mind. It doesn't bother me what gender the baby is, as long as it's healthy. But um, with a boy, with me and my siblings, I have three brothers, and I do think they were easier to bring up for my mum than me. I was just a total hormonal drama queen. Boys, they're just easier going, I think. Like looking at my brothers, I was just like, oh my god, you don't have a care in the world, but um I would really love a girl just so I can have the bond that me and my mum have. So I'll show you my scan photo this weekend, just to show you how much the baby's grown and compare it to the other scan photo as well. People have been asking me about names a lot. I try my hardest not to bring it up or discuss it with anyone, but you will find everyone asks, what do you want to name your baby, boy or girl? You just have to bear in mind it's your baby, and if I could give anyone advice, it's just say you haven't thought of names until the very end. Just don't discuss your names because someone is going to put you off no matter what. I know you're like really excited and you thought of this lovely name and you're so excited to tell your friends, and you're so excited to tell your mum or whatever, but there's always going to be someone who doesn't like that name. There's always going to be more than one person, probably. It doesn't matter what anyone else wants. When they have their chance to have their child, they can name them whatever they want and they don't have to pick all the horrible names that you've thought of. I do like really unusual but unique names. Like, I don't like anything like, something you've never heard of before. I'm just not really keen on very popular names. Another question asked was, how are me and my partner dealing with things? I have been really lucky with my boyfriend, because even when I decided that I wanted to go through the pregnancy, he told me. At first, obviously, he was really shocked, and I wouldn't say he was like upset. I think he was more upset that he had to tell his parents. I think it was the realization that he was gonna have to tell his parents that he was having a child, and he's the youngest in his family, and none of his older sibling or cousins have children. So I think it was like a lot for him to deal with personally. Like, he did say to me, it's my body and I'd have to live with it either way. And he just wanted what's best for me, really. And he wasn't going to make me do anything I didn't want to do. I've taken out a lot of my hormones on him, like a lot of my anger and upset. And to be honest with you, I was quite selfish when I first decided to go through the pregnancy. Didn't really consider that he was struggling as well, and if he showed any sign of, oh, I'm not happy with this, I would straight away put my guard up and be like, you don't have to do it, like, I'll do it on my own, you go away. But I wasn't really taking into consideration that he was 18, he didn't ask for any of this, but he's here and he's trying to deal with it in his own way. If you are going through the same thing, not a lot of boys at the age of 18 have their head screwed on properly when it comes to things like this. Some of the, like, a lot of people would do a run out and just say, I'm out, I don't want anything to do with it. But my boyfriend has stood by my side and I've been really lucky. And it's actually brought us so much closer as well, because obviously we hadn't been with each other that long. This was going to make or break us. And that's the first thing we said to each other when I told him I was pregnant and going to carry on with the pregnancy. I think, like, we have done our relationship backwards. We have had a baby at the beginning, but the more time has gone on and the more I've thought about it, I don't even think it's a bad thing. And it can either bring us closer or it's going to make us become mature adults and be good parents for our child, whether we're together or not. He cares about me a lot, and I know whether, if we stay together or not, that we will do what's best for our child, and I know he's going to be a great dad. Like, I'm really open with him about, like, my body changes and things, and he makes me feel good about myself. He tries to make sure that I talk about things. At the start, I wasn't really, like, talking about my feelings. I was, like, selfish in general. I didn't really think about his feelings, and he said, like, wait, hang on, like, I have feelings too. It isn't all about you. We're both having this child. Realise that he really does want what's best for me as well as himself, and it's not going to happen unless we work together. And yeah, since then we've been brilliant. Like, we don't argue anyway. The only thing we argue about is who takes up the most room in the bed at night. Like, literally all we do is laugh. At the end of the day, we do love each other, and I think this will be a really fun adventure for us both. It's now Wednesday today. I'm going to try and do a blog this weekend or the start of next week, and show you my scan. Also, keep the messages coming through because I love having feedback. Please do bear in mind about the things I speak about. This is a pregnancy blog for young mums. I am here to be realistic and try and relate to people at my age and people who need my help, really. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'll put all my information in the description. Thank you for all the positive feedback that helps me keep going. Thank you.